Jai Shri Ram. Vivekananda quiz. Not exactly a quiz. If you listen to this recording, you will learn many things about Vivekananda. And if at all you ever are in a situation where there is a quiz, you will beat everybody. Okay? So let's learn about Vivekananda. Vivekananda's father's name was Vishwanath Dutt. Vishwanath Dutt. And mother's name was Bhuneshwari Devi. He was born on Monday, January 12th, 1863 at 6:33 in the morning. 6:33. January 12, 1863. I remember the date very well because I was born in 1963. January 5th. Sometimes I fancy myself as Vivekananda reborn. Okay. So I remember the date just like that. Remember, our mind remembers anything if you link it with something that you already know. So Vivekananda is 1863, myself I am 1963, 100 years after Vivekananda. So after every 100 years Vivekananda is born. Okay. So Vivekananda's childhood name was actually Vishweshwar. That was the name he was given, Vishweshwar. And his name changed. At Annaprashana, they changed the name to Narendranath Dutt. So Vishweshwar became Narendranath Dutt. Okay. And Professor William Hastie of the General Assembly College, William Hastie, remember. Narendra was studying FA, and Professor William Hastie was very impressed with Narendra. And Narendra is the most capable amongst all the students of philosophy, and there is no student in any university of England and Germany who is as brilliant as him. That's what he said one day while interpreting the emotional intensity in the poem The Excursion by Wordsworth. Excursion by Wordsworth. In this class, he said that there was a saint who lived in Dakshineshwar temple near Kolkata who had the experience of that kind of intensity. So Narendra felt that he should meet this man. So William Hastie, an Englishman, a professor, was instrumental in ensuring that Vivekananda went and met Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and the Ramakrishna Mutt came into existence, and the rest is history. So you see, this very interesting, isn't it? So what is the inference you want to draw? So even in the worst things, the British came and ruled us, exploited us, but even in these, bad times, there were so many good things. So William Hastie inspired Vivekananda to go and meet Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Not that if William Hastie had not inspired him, perhaps, no, the ifs and buts of history we can go on arguing. But that's it. Very interesting, isn't it? So, of course, Narendranath, his paternal cousin Ramachandra Datta, had also spoken to Narendra about Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna. So that is also there. As a result of which his desire to meet him became even more intense. So Sri Ramakrishna came to Simla locality, to the family of Sri Surendranath Mitro. Surendranath Mitro. Then at that time, Narendra was invited to sing some songs, bhajans. So, and the first bhajan which Narendranath sang when he met Sri Ramakrishna was Mano Chalo Nija Niketane. Mano Chalo Nija Niketane. That means, mind, let us go back to our real home. Mano Chalo Nija Niketane. It's a lovely song. Please listen to that. So Ramakrishna went into a trance when he heard Narendranath. Remember, Vivekananda was trained in music also. So that is one more incident. Now, and Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, when he saw Narendranath, Narendranath went to Dakshineshwar to meet Ramakrishna. And Ramakrishna said, when he saw, Lord, you are Narada. You are Narayana in human form. How ruthless you are. Why did you take so long to come? So when Narendra heard these words, he thought that this man is okay, he is not a sage, but something is wrong, he is unstable. So one day Narendra, he used to meet Paramahamsa repeatedly. And one day I believe he asked, Did you see God? Vivekananda. Ramakrishna said, yes, I have seen God exactly the same way as I am seeing you. In fact, even more clearly and in a better way. Wow. So, this very interesting exchange, isn't it? It is said that Vivekananda said, I want to, then can you show him? I believe this is one story which I heard from somewhere else. So Ramakrishna said, okay, let's go for a walk. They went to the Hooghly, river. Uh, So Narendra said, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, let us see how long we can keep our noses closed and take a dip in the water, remain submerged without breathing. So Vivekananda already knew that this man is eccentric and unstable. But if this can show him God, why not try it? There's nothing to lose. So Vivekananda closed his nostrils and went into the river, submerged himself. Ramakrishna also did that. And slowly Ramakrishna got up and he sat on top of Vivekananda on the shoulders, and using all his power he was preventing Vivekananda from rising from the water to take a gasp of breath. After some time Vivekananda was badly in need to take a breath, because you say how long can you. So with great difficulty Vivekananda pushed Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and came out of the water and took a deep breath, and he said, what, are you trying to kill me? Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, see, you would have given anything for that one gasp of breath. So if you have the same intense desire for God, then God will present himself in front of you. So this, I believe, Narendra said, wow, so true, isn't it? So do we have the same intensity? So that is how the relationship started. And the next thing was he became a follower, and in 1884, Narendranath's father Vishwanath Datta suddenly passed away, and because of family disputes, there was a lot of difficulty even to have two square meals. So Narendra requested Ramakrishna Paramahamsa to help solve the family problems. Ramakrishna said, pray at the feet of Mother Kali, so that she may remove the sorrows of your family. However, every time he went before the idol of Mother Kali, the only prayer he offered was that he be given knowledge and devotion. In the end, Narendra told Ramakrishna that he could not ask Kali, Mata Kali, to remove the problems of his family. Hmm? So he could not ask her. And he also said that she could do what she wanted, and she went home. Slowly, as a result of his spiritual attraction, Narendra became close, and this closeness with Sri Ramakrishna increased, and his feeling of submission also increased. And slowly, Ramakrishna understood that Narendra was on the spiritual quest. Uh, One day, while talking to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Narendra asked him for the blessing of salvation. Ramakrishna angrily said to Narendra, aren't you ashamed of yourself? I believe that you were born for the welfare of humanity. But now you are so selfish. You want salvation only for yourself. Huh? I thought you will spread like a great banyan tree and will work for the upliftment and salvation of the depressed, oppressed humanity. But you are demanding only your salvation? Oh Narendra, you have been born not for your own salvation but for the salvation of the entire world. This changed the direction of Narendra's life. And on 16th August 1886 marked the date, 3 or 4 days before his passing away. Sri Ramakrishna just touched Narendra, and all the powers and strengths were transferred to young Narendra. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, I believe, said, now I have become a beggar after having given all that I had unto you. With this strength, you will work for the benefit of humanity. You will achieve great things. And then after that, you will go back to the place from where you have come. So the stone in Kanyakumari, that is called Sripada Shila. After reaching Kanyakumari, Vivekananda saw the Sripada Shila. He swam to the stone for 3 days, from December 24th, 1892 to December 26th, 1892. Vivekananda sat on the stone there, and was doing dhyana about India's past, present, and future. And he then decided that he will go to America to participate in the Congress of World Religions. Yeah, with the cooperation of Maharaj Ajit Singh of Khetri and his disciples, Swamiji left for Chicago from the present Bhaucha Dhaka Port, Bombay on 31st May 1893. And on the way, he saw many cities of Japan. During his journey from Japan to Chicago, Vivekananda met Sri Jamshedji Naushekji Tata, the pioneer industrialist of India. Tata was greatly impressed not only by Swamiji's personality but also his wisdom, learning, humility, and progressive thinking. It was Vivekananda who inspired Tata, and Tata went on to establish the massive factory of Tata Iron and Steel at Jamshedpur and the Indian Scientific and Research Institute at Bangalore. So it was Vivekananda again inspiring Tata, and the rest is history. You know how big Tata is, Tata Industries. So Swamiji's speech at the Congress of World Religions on 11th September 1893, September 11, 1893, he addressed the gathering of 7,000 people. The audience was sisters and brothers of America, and this was like an electric shock because everyone was very formal, you see. And for some nearly 3 minutes, there was a thunderous applause. People clapped and clapped for 3 minutes. And the rest of it is history, isn't it? That speech is lovely. Please read that speech. So let's look at the quiz. In which locality of Calcutta was Swami Vivekananda born? The name is Simulia. 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 Swami Vivekananda's father was Vishwanath Dutt. Mother was Bhuneshwari Devi. The Gaur Mohan Mukherjee Street is famous because the house where Swami Vivekananda was born is still there. Gaur Mohan Mukherjee Street. Vivekananda's grandfather's name was Durga Charan Dutt. Durga Charan Dutt. Swami Vivekananda's. Okay. Next. Dutt family, the ancestral profession was law. Law. Okay. 12th January 1863. 12th January 1863. Vivekananda's birthday. Vivekananda was born on Makara Sankranti. Makara Sankranti. Okay. The name of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's village, Kamarpukur. 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 Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa's date of birth is 17th February 1936. 17th February 1936. Sri Ramakrishna's birthday. Vivekananda was a member of the ordinary Brahmo Samaj. There was this Brahmo Samaj which was anti-Hindu. Ordinary Brahmo Samaj was not anti-Hindu. So there is a slight difference. I don't want to get into that. What was the basic difference between the principles of the ordinary Brahmo Samaj and the spiritual Brahmo Samaj? See, the Brahmo Samaj was basically anti-Hindu, whereas the basic purpose of the ordinary Brahmo Samaj was to improve upon it and not to be anti-Hindu. So Vivekananda joined the ordinary Brahmo Samaj. Vivekananda's favorite subject was philosophy and religion. Okay. So what next? Why did Vivekananda leave Brahmo Samaj? I believe at a function of the Brahmo Samaj where Vivekananda was present, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was not given due respect. That was sufficient reason, and Vivekananda left Brahmo Samaj. Thank God he left it. So the first time when Ramakrishna Paramahamsa touched him, Narendranath Vivekananda felt as if all things, including the walls, were rotating at a very great speed and vanishing, and that he too, along with the entire world, was, with his identity, moving ahead very fast to get absorbed by the vast sky. Awesome experience. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa once said, Vivekananda is a rishi among the Sapta rishis. And the day he realizes this, he will not live in this world. After his father's death, the close relatives of Vivekananda filed a legal suit against him in order to steal their house, usurp their house. So you see, భూ కబ్జా ఇల్లు కబ్జా చేయడానికి ఓరే నాయనో ఈవెన్ వివేకానంద ఫేస్ ద సేమ్ ప్రాబ్లం. So when we went to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, who told him go to Mother Kali and pray for help, but every time he went, Vivekananda's prayer was, "Oh Mata Kali, give me wisdom, detachment, knowledge and devotion. Wisdom, detachment, knowledge and devotion. Wisdom, detachment, knowledge and devotion." He could never ever ask her for clothes and 2 meals a day. Actually, after his father's death, Narendranath's family was facing starvation. And the quality that impressed Ramakrishna Paramahamsa the most was the purity, the uniqueness, and the emotion of total submission, which was reflected in the eyes of Swami Vivekananda. When the lotus blossoms, bumblebees, bees automatically come there in search of honey. And if the lotus of your character blossoms fully, millions of people will come to you to gain knowledge. This is what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa told Swami Vivekananda. If anybody used to criticize Swami Vivekananda in the presence of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to tell that person, "Hey, don't do that. Why are you criticizing Shiva? Be quiet." So, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa believed also that Vivekananda was a Amsha Avatara of Paramashiva, Mahashiva, Shiva's Avatara, Shiva's Vibhuti. Now, this is a very interesting tidbit, esoterica. Before he accepted the name Vivekananda, there was another name. And before he became a sadhu and ascetic, before taking the name Vivekananda, his name was Vividishananda. 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 Vividishananda became Vivekananda. Interesting. So Vivekananda once, when he was talking to his young friends at Varahanagar Mutt, he said, "Our task is to fabricate humans with character. We are in the human fabrication business. So what is the use of our lives? It is purposeless. There is only one and only one devotion. Give up the useless pride of education. However brilliant the doctrine, however subtle the argument, the emotional experience of God is the sole aim of life, and we are in the business of manufacturing great human beings." Wonderful. And that is what RSS also does. RSS, Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh, the main function is to manufacture human beings of great character, because every human being is like a brick and the whole society is the building. So if the brick is firm, strong, the building will also be very strong. He went to Varanasi, and there Swami Bhaskaranandaji said, "Goddess Saraswati resides in the throat of Swami Vivekananda, and the lamp of knowledge burns bright in his heart." In Kashi, there was a great incident where monkeys chased him after he went to the Durga temple. He was running, but somebody said, some sadhu there, "Stop and face the brutes." So Vivekananda turned around and faced the monkeys. The monkeys ran away. So, kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupasthitam anaryajushtam asvargyam akirtikaram arjuna klaibyam masmagamah partha naitatva yupabadyate kshudram hrudaya daurbalyam tyaktvottishta parantapa. Vivekananda was reminded of these two shlokas. This is the second chapter, second and third. And therefore Vivekananda also says that these two shlokas are the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, of the entire Bhagavad Gita, and that is the philosophy on which we must live our lives. Face every problem. Don't run away. No running away to the forest and begging and all that. Face the problems. And once there was a person named Sharat Chandra at Hathras. Sharat Chandra. Vivekananda made this statement: Son, there is a great purpose in my life. I have the burden on my shoulders of fulfilling a great work. But I know that I have very little power. My Guru ordered me to sacrifice my life for the reawakening of my motherland. Reawakening of my motherland. I have to sacrifice my life for it. I have to make India active through spiritual powers and help her get back the respect. Vishwaguru. But how? But how? I think Modi ji is carrying out Vivekananda's wish also to make India Vishwaguru. All of us, all Hindus should contribute their might, MIT. Might means a small but significant amount. Whatever best you can do, please do. Don't waste your time. Swami Vivekananda reached Gazipur, where he met Pawahari Baba. Pawahari Baba was living in a cave. I believe Vivekananda said, "What is the use of living in a cave and doing dhyana?" Pawahari Baba said, "You don't understand. Even though I might be meditating inside a cave, I am working for the welfare of mankind." So that is how yogis' power works. They may appear like as if they are, running away and staying aloof, but even then they are actually working. So Pawahari gave 2 lectures, and Vivekananda remembers them. The names of these 2 sermons were, I believe, "Live in your teacher's house like a cow." Yeah? Live like a cow in this country. Be like a cow. That is the role model. Cow is the role model. Take very little but give back valuable. Valuable. The cow gives milk, isn't it? So milk, butter, ghee, all that. So like a cow. That is the cow should be. And then just sadhan tas siddhi. As you sow, so you will reap. Just sadhan. The amount of austerity that you undertake, the amount of great work that you will be able to do. Nothing can be achieved. Nothing great can be achieved without great sacrifice. Just sadhan tas siddhi. Of course, Swamiji realized that his the life purpose of his life was not to sit in isolation and meditate, but to work towards salvation for the whole of mankind, for the welfare and service of mankind. When he was just 25, he took this decision. So when he was in Rajputana, he left Rajputana, and Swamiji is known to have sung the lines of Dhammapada. One line of which was, "Roam around alone like a rhinoceros." Roam around alone like a rhinoceros. So it is called the Khagga Visana Sutra. Roam around alone like a rhinoceros. It is also called the Rhinoceros Sutra. Roam around fearlessly without any cravings and all that. Fearlessly. Roam around alone like a rhinoceros. Vivekananda also repeatedly told in many places, and especially he first stated that in Alwar, in order to safeguard our heritage, the youth must rewrite our history correctly. We must undertake the rewriting of history correctly. At Alwar, Vivekananda said that, and he said that in other places too. Vivekananda had a Muslim devotee, his disciple, who was actually Sarfaraz Khan, who became Muhammad Ananda. Muhammad Ananda was Vivekananda's disciple. Vivekananda told the Maharaja of Khetri that there is only one truth, and that is complete. Man is forever traveling from truth to truth and not from untruth to truth. Okay. So that's why in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says, "Shreyan dravyamayad yajna jnana yajna parantapa sarvam karmakhilam partha jnane parisamapyate." All these activities which men are undertaking, some of them are still in the LKG of religion. Physical age may be 70. Jarata Gardava, old donkeys. These are my observations. These old donkeys also, they will be born again, and again they will keep progressing, like Vivekananda said, from truth to truth. That means a lower truth, from LKG to the next class. And someday we all will be doing PhD on Bhagavad Gita. Isn't it interesting? In the Khetri Maharaj Darbar, there was a Nach girl who was dancing. So he was invited, but Swamiji did not like, because he didn't want to attend this, mujra, mushaira, mujra type. But the girl was singing, I think that was Surdasa Bhajan. Prabhu more avagun chitna dharo. Prabhu more avagun chitna dharo. And after hearing that song, Vivekananda felt so blessed, and he blessed that girl also. What a wonderful song. We are all, after all, as humans, we are full of so many weaknesses, but we are quick to judge others. Prabhu more avaguna chitna dharo. Samadarshi ho, Samadarshi hai naam tumharo. So these are the lines of that. Prabhu more avagunu chitna dharo. Which means, oh Lord, do not, bring to mind, do not think of my weaknesses and, my faults and flaws in my character. Oh Lord, I am flawed, I know that. So please don't think of that. When Vivekananda saw Sripada Shila at Kanyakumari, what were the thoughts in his mind? How can the poverty of India, the discrimination, the superiority inferiority complexes, and the hypocrisy in the name of religion, how can they be removed? That was what was bothering. Poverty, discrimination, superiority inferiority complex, and hypocrisy in the name of religion. How to eliminate that? In Kanyakumari, on the Sripada Shila, Vivekananda thought about the future of India, and he resolved that he would have to reawaken Dharma in India in order to free her from scarcity and ignorance. So to awaken the lifeless public of India and to make them active, which two alternatives did Swamiji suggest? Service and submission. Therefore be a sevak like Modi ji. Attach the suffix sevak to your designation. During his wanderings, what conclusion did he arrive at after he completed the whole tour of India? Vivekananda came to the conclusion that only Sanatana Dharma and the values of Sanatana Dharma can save the world from destruction. Of course, on one occasion, Vivekananda also said that the Western culture was superior to Indian culture. But of course, he mentioned what you call Andha Pangu Nyaya, the blind man and the lame. You see, India became lame because of the exploitation of the British. They destroyed our Gurukula system, they destroyed our manufacturing, agriculture. So we became lame. But we still had eyes, spiritual eyes, dharmic eyes. The Western civilization had become blind because they were busy chasing pleasure, hedonistic cultures. So Vivekananda suggested Andha Pangu Nyaya. That means we Hindus, Sanatan Dharmas, people subscribing to Sanatan Dharma, still had eyes, though the backbone was broken by the British. So the man with eyes but with no legs sits on the shoulder of the blind man who had a healthy body but blind because no spiritual values. So the Western world is the blind man, strong blind man, on whose shoulders Vivekananda said that people of India, the Hindus, should sit, and together mankind can be saved from destruction. Because without spirituality and without a dharmic outlook, mankind will be completely destroyed. Swami Vivekananda had such a powerful memory. Miss Sanborn writes in her autobiography that Swamiji Vivekananda had knowledge of all religions, and he had knowledge of the Bible and could produce it page by page. My God. What was Swamiji's serial number in the list of speakers at the World Religions Conference. 31st speaker. What did Swamiji prove in his very first speech at the World Religions Conference? That Sanatana Dharma, the Hindu religion, is the best. The New York Herald wrote that Swami Vivekananda was undoubtedly the biggest and the best speaker at the World Religions Conference. After hearing him, we feel that it will be very foolish to send missionaries to a country which is full of such knowledge. But even now they are sending. And Mother Teresa, Mummy Teresa, the less said the better about her. The World Religions Conference lasted 17 days, and on 11 days, Swamiji addressed the entire audience. How much honorarium was he given for one lecture? $30 to $80. For one lecture, he was paid $30 to $80 roughly. In Chicago, he met an atheist and a great orator of America, Robert Ingersoll. His quotes are awesome. And a famous singer became Vivekananda's disciple, Madam Isma Calway. What was one of the effects of the speeches made by Vivekananda in America on the Christian missionaries of India? There was a lot of reduction in the money that was being sent by Christian missionaries of the West for the propagation of Christianity. And Vivekananda established the Vedic Society of New York. Vedic Society of New York. He established that. And noticing Vivekananda's successes in America, the Christian missionaries in India started the mal propaganda, trying to tarnish Vivekananda's name. And which were the Indian organizations that supported this smear campaign against Vivekananda? Brahmo Samaj and the Theosophical Society. My God. And who was the person of Brahmo Samaj who was trying to tarnish Vivekananda's reputation in America? Pratap Chandra Majumdar. So Brahmo Samaj was so jealous of America, of Vivekananda, that they started proclaiming that Swami Vivekananda had not been sent as the authorized representative of the Hindu religion. See, Brahmo Samaj, they hated Vivekananda. And these Brahmo Samaj chaps even published articles against Swami Vivekananda. There was a paper by name Unity and Minister. They tried to tarnish his name, by writing libellous stuff. To tarnish Vivekananda's name, there was an organization called Ramabai Circle. Ramabai Circle was an organization run by Pandita Ramabai, who had converted to Christianity. So they were trying to tarnish. And what did Vivekananda do to stop all this false propaganda being spread by this Ramabai Circle? So Vivekananda gave another lecture in which he spoke at length about the traditional values of Hinduism and nullified all this nonsense by Ramabai Circle. Just imagine. So imagine there was such a lot of venomous propaganda against Swamiji, and he fought every bit of it. He elaborated the essential nature of Hinduism. I think we all have to do the same thing even right now. And Vivekananda spent all his time in America promoting Sanatana Dharma, Sanatana Vedic principles, and fighting against the mal propaganda of many Hindu organizations. This is the problem even today. Woke Hindus, these foolish fellows who have not read the Bible, Quran or Gita, these woke and sick seculars, even at the time of Vivekananda, they were active, trying to defame their own mother religion, Hinduism. What a tragedy. It is still going on even now. When Vivekananda gave a lecture in the Harvard University, the Harvard professors all they agreed and declared that Vivekananda's lectures were not only inspiring from the intellectual point of view, but also from the moral and emotional point of view. Remember, Harvard University is located in Boston. During his stay in England, when Vivekananda was going to live with an English friend of his and Miss Muller, there was a very interesting accident, mishap, which displayed Swamiji's courage. Suddenly, a mad ox came running from somewhere. An Englishman who was with him ran away. Miss Muller also ran away and fell down. But Swamiji came and stood before the mad ox. The ox stood for some time and actually stepped a little further, then strangely turned away and went away. And Miss Muller was saved. It takes great courage to do this. Swami Vivekananda displayed this immense courage. When the Englishman ran away, this lady would have been killed by the ox. But Vivekananda stood between the lady and the ox, and the ox sensed the power of Vivekananda and retreated. On 9th July 1896, Vivekananda gave a lecture on education at the Theosophical Society, and Mr. Eric Haymond, a great thinker and philosopher, became a disciple of Swamiji. And the people who attended that lecture acknowledged that Swamiji's knowledge of the English language and his rhetorical skills amazed everyone. Vivekananda went to Max Muller's house also in Germany. Paul Duschen was a German philosopher who got a taste of Vivekananda's genius because Vivekananda memorized a piece of poetry which he had just barely glanced at. Paul Duschen predicted that a philosophical revolution is being created in the world. It will be led by India, and in future India will lead the world from the spiritual point of view. India will become the Vishwa Guru. Prabuddha Bharat was the name of the monthly magazine which started publication from Madras because of Vivekananda's efforts and under his directions. Prabuddha Bharat. Vivekananda arrived in Kumbakonam and he had an interview with a tantric whose name was Govind Chetty, and it is said that Swamiji Vivekananda embraced the tantric, and the tantric felt that all his powers were finished. Vivekananda absorbed all that fellow's tantric powers. That fellow became an ascetic. And Vivekananda once said, I have to tell the youth to first become strong. Religion will follow automatically. My young friends, first become powerful and strong. You will go closer to heaven by playing football, not by reading the Gita. If you have strength in your arms, then you will be able to understand the Gita properly. So these are words spoken by Vivekananda in a lecture in Madras on 13th February 1897. In his trip to Kashmir in June 1898, Vivekananda went to the temple Kshir Bhavani. The Muslim boatmen refused to take Swamiji and his devotees to Kshir Bhavani if they continued to wear their shoes on. So they had to remove the shoes. You see the devotion that Muslim boatmen had, it has gone totally. Now it is not there. In Nainital, Vivekananda met Muhammad Sarfaraz Hussain, a Muslim scholar of the Advaita Vedanta, who later on, impressed by Swamiji, became his disciple, and he came to be known as Swami Muhammadananda, Vivekananda's disciple, at Nainital. Once Swamiji was giving a lecture in New York, and the audience was listening with rapt attention. Suddenly he left the lecture without completing it. And you know what the reason was? Swamiji was aware of his influential power, but he was not in favor of influencing everyone to the extent of hypnotizing them. He noticed that the audience was almost on the verge of getting hypnotized. So, seeing this situation, he left without completing the lecture. Uh, on 25th December 1899, Vivekananda gave a lecture in a chapel in Los Angeles, and the topic was Christ's message to the world. Vivekananda also met Bal Gangadhar Tilak, though of course he did not tell him his name, I believe. And Vivekananda also met in Paris Jagdish Chandra Bose, the scientist. In France, he met the great intellectual who was impressed. That was Victor Hugo. Victor Hugo was impressed by Vivekananda's genius. Vivekananda was so influential that a German intellectual, Goethe, you must have heard of, was also very influenced by Vivekananda. And using his yogic powers, Swami Vivekananda freed one of his disciples, Swami Nirbhayananda, from a disease, though Vivekananda himself was ill. So Vivekananda used his yogic powers to cure one of his disciples of his illness. Vivekananda repeatedly emphasized the importance in his meetings and discussions with the Congress leaders that we must establish schools for Vedas all over the country. Vivekananda celebrated his 39th birthday in Bodh Gaya. One day during the last days of his life, Swamiji gave his disciples, mainly Sharat Chandra, a small pep talk in which he said, "Keep full faith in Rama and with your full power serve Dharma like a tiger, just like Hanumanji. Just like Hanumanji rendered his life for Sri Rama, serve Dharma like a tiger. Keep full faith in Rama and with your full energy, body, mind, and soul, serve Dharma like a tiger, exactly like Hanumanji, exactly like how Hanumanji served Sri Rama." These were the words of Vivekananda. Which person played the active role in the construction of the Vivekananda Rock Memorial? Shri Eknath Ranade, RSS, who was the officiating chairman of the RSS. Eknath Ranade ji. Swami Vivekananda left his body mortal coil on 4th of July 1902 at 9:10 at night. And an incident that happened at the time of Swamiji's body being cremated. A gust of wind carried a piece of the bhagwa cloth from Vivekananda's body from the funeral pyre, and it fell into the lap of sister Nivedita, which she kept with herself as a blessing. Swami Vivekananda once said, "It is the Hindu belief that the Jivatma is such a circle, it does not have a circumference, but the center is positioned in the body, and death means the transfer of the center from one body to another." When Swamiji was cremated, the chant was Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Shri Swami Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Shri Sanatana Dharma Ki Jai, Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Shri Swami Maharaj Ki Jai, Jai Shri Sanatana Dharma Ki Jai. Eleanor Stark is the author of a book titled The Gift Unopened. He said, Swami Vivekananda is such an unparalleled gift for the entire humanity, which has still not been opened. So we all must study about Swami Vivekananda, learn everything possible about Vivekananda, so that we can lead India, make Bharat the Vishwaguru again. Swami Vivekananda inspired Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, who clearly said, had he been alive today, he would have been my Guru. He would have been my guiding Guru. Swami Vivekananda also gave a call to all Hindus to follow Hanumanji, Mahavir Hanuman, as the highest ideal of service and submission to truth. The song written by Swamiji, which is still sung every day, is Khandana Bhava Bandhana Jaga Vandana To Mai Niranjana Nara Rupudhara Nirgana Gunamai. Khandana Bhava Bandhana. Please learn that. And you know, British rascals, they had set up a committee called the Sedition Committee, Deshadroham. Huh? And about Vivekananda, this is what they wrote in their Sedition Committee report. The popular movement that is going on in India is not for getting freedom from slavery. On the contrary, it is a systematic conspiracy and its manager is Tilak or Vivekananda. So, this is what the British had. The British hated Vivekananda. And in their Sedition Committee, this is what they wrote about him. And who was the great man of Maharashtra, the greatest perhaps freedom fighter, who was inspired by Swami Vivekananda? Can you guess? Who was inspired by Swami Vivekananda and led the freedom movement of India? Yes, it is Veer Savarkar. Veer Savarkar was inspired by Vivekananda. Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was inspired by Vivekananda. So you have no idea how powerful Vivekananda's contributions even today they are. On the day of his death, that is 4th July 1902, with the inspiration of Vivekananda, an institution was set up in Varanasi. The name is Sri Ramakrishna Advaita Ashram. So finally, I'm going to stop here. I've done my bit in trying to inform you about some of the significant things in the life of Swami Vivekananda. Many more are there. You must go to Belur and have a bust of Vivekananda in your office and home. He is an incarnation of Mahashiva. Jai Shri Ram.